What's up, gaming and sports fans? Firestorm Gaming here, and I just watched the Timberwolves game tonight. I actually went to a sports bar where they had the game on just to get some appetizers and whatnot. And man, Timberwolves blew it, dude. It was ridiculous. Okay, so for those of you that did not watch the game, here's what happened. So the Timberwolves started out strong. I mean, they're playing the Grizzlies. They just looked beastly. Within the first half of the first quarter, they put up 20 points. Okay, so they're up like 20-3. 7 minutes. I think it was like 7.5 minutes into the first quarter. So the Timberwolves are killing them. I'm sitting there going, "Holy cow!" They look fantastic. Their defense looked amazing. They were just beating the crap out of the Grizzlies, and they had just beat the crap out of the Grizzlies in the preseason game before this. So I was thinking, like, this is a wrap, man. Timberwolves are going to dominate. They're going to whoop the crap out of these guys. And then all of a sudden, they just went flat. They stopped hitting shots. They stopped making plays. They stopped playing good defense. I wouldn't say everybody stopped playing good defense, but there were a few guys on the team that just totally blew it on the defensive end. And next thing you know, the Grizzlies are within 8 points, and then they're within 5 points, and next thing you know, it was neck and neck the rest of the game. And it was just sloppy basketball by the Timberwolves. And you could see Tom Thibodeau. I've never seen a coach just like flat out pissed off in a season opener, but he was pissed off. He was shaking his head. He was frustrated. He's just like, "What are you guys doing out there?" So yeah, it was embarrassing. I was just like, "What the heck, Timberwolves? What the frick are you guys doing?" They started out so great. I mean, they were hitting shots. They were making plays. They were playing great defense. And there were a few interesting things that I noticed. So it was interesting. So let's talk about the different players. So Chris Dunn, this guy looked phenomenal. They need to get him more playing time. They did not play Chris Dunn enough. He was getting to the hole. He was making plays. And his defense is incredible. I was really impressed with his defense. There was a play where the guy he was guarding was driving to the basket, and he was probably like 5 feet behind the guy. And he cut the guy. He not only did he catch up to the guy, but he literally cut the guy off, forced him to lose his dribble, and caused a turnover when the guy was trying to drive to the basket. It was incredible defense. Super impressed with Chris Dunn. And I thought they should have played him more because Ricky Rubio just was not getting it done. He had a lot of turnovers. He had like 1 or 2 good drives to the basket, but he was not looking good. And the big guy that I want to pick on is Georgie Deng. Georgiou Deng. I don't even know how you say his name. But this dude, man, they started him for some reason, which I thought they were going to start Bejalisa instead, the European guy, but they start Deng, and this guy could not play defense. Like, it was, for whatever reason, he was just not a good defender. Every time they put him on Marc Gasol would score, and Marc Gasol was just tearing the Timberwolves up. Now, when you put Karl-Anthony Towns on Marc Gasol, Karl-Anthony Towns was shutting him down, so I don't know why they didn't just put Karl Towns on him throughout the game, but that totally killed him. Georgie Deng did not play good in this game. His defense was pathetic. They put Cole Aldrich out there some. He actually looked pretty good. Minnesota boy Cole Aldrich looked good in the game. I was surprised they didn't put Tyus Jones in because they were having trouble. Like, what happened is once the Grizzlies started to pick up their defense, the Timberwolves just like were not getting to the hole. They were getting basically whoever was at point guard would sit probably like 5 feet out from the 3-point line with a guy right up in his face, and there just wasn't enough motion or anything happening. And next thing you know, he throws a crappy pass, turnover, bad shot, whatever. But their offense was just looking horrendous, and they weren't running enough pick and rolls. Like they had, and I was just like, man, I was watching this game. I'm just like, first of all, anytime Chris Dunn wasn't out there, I was like, they need to get Chris Dunn out there and they need to run a pick and roll. And then when they got Chris Dunn out there and they started running the pick and roll, especially with Zach LaVine looks like an all-star, man. Zach LaVine looked fantastic. They actually started him, but he was looking really good. And anytime they ran him off a pick and roll, I was just like, at this point in the season, I'm like, okay, starting lineup for at this point, in my opinion, Chris Dunn needs to be the starting point guard on this team. I don't care, like maybe they'll start him slowly into that role, but he needs to be the starting point guard. He's just like miles ahead of Ricky Rubio in terms of defense. And his offensive capacity, his offensive prowess is incredible. Now, he does make a few stupid passes. I saw him make a really stupid pass right in traffic, and so his decision-making isn't quite there. But his defense and offensive capability is incredible. This guy is a really, really good player. He's going to be an all-star. But they need to start him. They need to have Zach LaVine, and they need to run those two off pick and rolls. They could pick and roll all day long and just dominate if they were to do that, but they weren't doing that. They kept trying to post up Andrew Wiggins, going one-on-one, and he just was not getting it done. Like, I watched... I'd have to check the statistics on how many times Wiggins posted up, but I saw him post up probably at least 6-7 times or so, and maybe 2 or 3 of those times he scored, but he also took a lot of bad shots. So like it wasn't like a high percentage option for the Timberwolves in this game. It just really didn't make sense to have Andrew Wiggins posting up all the time. I'm like, why don't you run pick and roll? And then when they did run a pick and roll, it actually worked out really good. They'd get a great run to the basket or, end up in a wide open shot. I mean, at least it causes the defense to have to scramble a little bit. But when they were playing isolation basketball or just had their point guard standing up around the perimeter while nothing else was happening, it just did not work out well for the Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns, he looked pretty good. He got a few shots blocked, but he was pretty dominant in the post when he got the ball down there. So he was impressive. He played good. But yeah, Georgiou Deng, they need to sit this guy, man. He just was not getting it done. Like, his jump shot looked good, but his defense on Marc Gasol was just pathetic. So we'll see how they do. They're playing the Kings in the next game. I hope it looks better. And I've got tickets now to go on November 3rd, so I'm going in a week here. So I'll post video footage from that. But I hope they don't blow it in that game too. But this game was just frustrating, man. I mean, how do you go from being up 20 to 3? So they put up that many points in half of the first quarter, and then they didn't even get over 100 points. Like, it just did not make sense. And the other thing that was driving me nuts is they missed so many free throws. Like, I literally watched... I saw Andrew Wiggins miss 2 free throws. I saw Ricky Rubio missing free throws. They were just blowing it from the free throw line, too. And the worst part about it was there was a point where they're down by 1. Andrew Wiggins gets fouled. There's like, I don't know, a minute and a half left in the game. And, I'm already pulling my hair out because they let the Grizzlies come back the way they did. But they're sitting there, and then he's got 2 free throws, right? And Andrew Wiggins is supposed to be the star player on this team. He's the number 1 pick in the draft. Rookie of the year. He's supposed to be a boss. He's got 2 free throws, 1 to tie and 1 to put them ahead. And you know what he does? He goes and blows it. He misses 2 free throws. So all of a sudden he misses 2 free throws. The Grizzlies come down. I think they ended up scoring, whatever. And it gets down to the wire. So actually, I think it was actually more down. There was less time than a minute and a half, I think, when that happened. But yeah, then anyways, then all of a sudden Zach LaVine comes down towards the end. They're forced to foul and give up some free throws and all that. So there's a point where they're down by 5, and then Zach LaVine comes down and hits this ridiculous 3-point shot in somebody's face. And then all of a sudden it's a 2-point game, and then the Timberwolves let Mike Conley get the ball, and they foul Mike Conley, which I'm like, he's like the best free throw shooter on the Grizzlies. You let Mike Conley get the ball. So just stupid stuff like that. And I know Thibodeau is going crazy. I mean, he was just not happy. You could see it all over his face. So I hope they make some adjustments. I mean, their defense did look good. Like I said, there was only a few breakdowns. Like a few players, like Deng was not playing good defense on Marc Gasol, in my opinion. He was giving him a little too much room for his jump shot. But if they can get their defense cleaned up, get that shored up, and if they can get the right guys the right amount of minutes, I think they're going to be pretty good. And, the one credit I will give them is that they just missed a lot of open shots. I mean, they were getting a lot of open shots and just missing them. I mean, Shabazz Muhammad did not shoot good. They had guys getting shots, but they just, for whatever reason, were just not going in. So we'll see how their next game goes against the Sacramento Kings. I hope that they don't suck as bad as they did tonight, because it was painful to watch. I was pulling my hair out. I thought this was an easy win. I mean, they destroyed the Grizzlies in the preseason, and the way they came out in the first quarter, I was like, oh, this is a wrap, man. I mean, Minnesota basketball is back. They're going to dominate, but then they just went and blew it, man. And now I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do with you, Timberwolves. You just went out there and just left a big warm turd on the basketball court. So we'll see how they recover from this. I hope it's a swift and fast recovery, and I hope Thibodeau put some foots in some rear ends, because there was just a lot of embarrassing stuff going on in this game. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. My new computer is coming here within... It should be here on Friday, but I'll see. And I'm going to have to take it in and get a few things integrated into it before I load up all my games and start playing. But that is coming. I'll make a video when that comes. So feel free to subscribe. Of course, the first game I'm going to download is NBA 2K17 because I love basketball. So stay tuned, guys. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll have a lot more content coming your way. Thanks for watching.